So we're going to start with Kanye West. It will be a less awkward Christmas with his brother-in-law, Travis Scott.
De facto brother-in-law. Essentially brother-in-law.
They may well be married.
Actually, they could be. If Travis and Kylie are actually married, they're already in-laws.
So we got a lot to talk about with Travis Scott, but we're going to start with the fact that Kanye West showed up at his concert last night, which seems to suggest that Kanye is not holding grudges involving his feud with Drake.
Right. Well, at least not with members of his family. You remember when Kanye went off on Drake last week?
Oh, by the way, welcome back.
Oh, thanks. Well, I just
forgot. I'm sorry.
When Kanye went off on Drake last week, one of the things he was really ticked off about was the fact that Drake was on Travis's song, Sicko Mode, and he felt that Drake had sneak dissed him in that song. It's not really much of a sneak diss. It was certainly a diss at Adidas, but Kanye took that personally.
Yeah, he said, Charles, he said Travis should have cut the line because in this song, Drake says checks over stripes, which means Nike over Adidas, of course, Kanye's Yeezy line.
And clearly directed at Kanye because of the beef between Drake and Kanye.
To me, that's not even a sneak diss. That's a diss.
Yeah.
You think it's a straight up diss?
Straight up diss.
Yeah, there's nothing sneaky about that diss.
Wow.
It's pretty in plain sight there.
Bright, man.
But he was upset. And he eventually said, you know, Travis and I talked it out, all good. He proved that last night by showing up to the show with Kim.
Well, he had also said that he talked things out with Drake initially, is what we thought. He's like, oh, Drake called, everything's fine. And then it turns out it got worse because he says there was a threat. But I guess he's not holding that against Travis.
So now it makes me think, if he's just letting this go and he feels his own brother-in-law did this and he's willing to forgive, how real is this feud with Drake?
I got a question for you. It's about to ask you. You ever see David Copperfield do his magic? If you are in Vegas and you see David Copperfield, you swear that he's a warlock or a wizard. But if you peek behind the curtain, you know it's all for appearances. Kanye West is the David Copperfield of Twitter. None of this is real. He's not afraid of Drake. He's not sitting in his house somewhere hoping that the guy from
But is he conspiring with Drake to create a non-existent feud?
I don't know if Drake's part of the conspiracy or not. I'd love to delve into it. I maybe do that later on.
So do you believe that Drake called and threatened Kanye and his family?
No, not at all.
Right.
No,
but then the question becomes, why would Drake go along with it?
Why doesn't Drake say I didn't do it?
To be honest with you, I don't even know. I don't think that Drake is the biggest artist in the world right now. I don't think that Drake. I think a lot of people feel like it would be less of Drake to come out and be like, yo, I didn't do any of this stuff that he said that I was doing.
Well, but he's saying he threatened.
So just let everybody. Because.
Well, wait a minute. And Van, wait a minute. We know that we do know something, that Drake had extra security at his house, and that wasn't for appearance because he's in a gated community.
Or maybe it was for appearances.
But the reality is,
to make it seem like there was.
Could be, but also Drake having extra security at his house could have nothing to do with a
he has had a lot of stalkers.
A few between him and Kanye West. If Kanye West is saying that Drake is threatening him, there could be other people outside of Kanye's circle who want to get up on Drake because they think it'll mean something to Kanye.
So you think the whole thing is phony?
I don't think any of this. Y'all really. I don't think any. No, I don't think any of this is real. Not at all, man. None of it.
So whether or not everybody's in on it, everybody's at least letting it stay out there.
Yeah, like
because it's not really hurting anybody.
And man, you know, this ain't me dissing nobody. Ye does this all the time. There's an apology that'll be coming any minute now. There probably bubbles on his phone right now from there are apologies coming. Ye does this all the time, man. It's not real. David Copperfield.
This is B from OKC, and my conspiracy theory on this beef is that it's real. And Chris called him and said, get your mind right, family first, and Kanye had to make that call.
No, that's a different theory.
Oh, that Chris is the one who...
That it's real, and Chris is the one who said, hey, you know, I'm having a nice party.
Well, remember, he mentioned Chris in that whole rant also. He was like, said to Drake, stop calling Chris trying to play nice. True.